Hello, and welcome to Eternal Awakening. Take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and allow yourself to simply be here, in this moment. If you feel aligned with what you hear today, we kindly invite you to support this channel with a like, and to subscribe, so that more souls walking this same path of awakening may find this message. Nothing forced, only if it resonates with your heart. Now, let us begin. When you first awaken spiritually, something powerful happens inside of you. It is as if the world you once knew falls away, and a new dimension reveals itself. You start to perceive things that others cannot. You sense energy in a room. You feel the unspoken emotions of others. You dream vividly of other realms. And you may even notice synchronicities aligning your life in ways you can no longer call coincidence. But along this mystical journey, many seekers encounter a strange paradox. Instead of feeling constant joy, inspiration, and motivation after their awakening, they find themselves heavy, tired, sometimes even lost. You may wonder, why, after opening my soul to the infinite, do I suddenly feel such a lack of drive? Why does the spark that once burned so brightly feel dimmed? Esther Hicks, channeling the teachings of Abraham, has often explained this paradox. It is not a sign of failure. It is not a punishment. It is not that your awakening was false. Rather, it is a necessary stage of integration. Imagine you have lived your entire life on one frequency. The frequency of survival, achievement, external validation. Then, suddenly, you break open into a higher vibration. Love, expansion, the eternal now. Your body, mind, and soul must learn how to bridge these two worlds. And in this bridge, motivation as you once knew it begins to dissolve. You see, before awakening, your motivation was often born from lack. You worked hard because you feared not having enough. You chased relationships because you feared loneliness. You sought recognition because you feared invisibility. Fear, insecurity, and desire disguised themselves as motivation. But awakening strips away these illusions. And when those false fuels disappear, at first, you may feel empty. This emptiness is not a void to be feared, it is sacred space. The space where your old self has died, but your new self has not yet fully bloomed. It is like the winter between lifetimes, the silence between heartbeats. In this stage, it is natural to feel less motivated in the ways society has conditioned you. And this is why so many seekers feel confused, because the old fire that once pushed them is gone. Yet the new flame of alignment has not yet stabilized. It is here where many give up. They believe something went wrong. But in truth, this stage is an initiation. The lack of motivation you feel after awakening is not a weakness. It is an invitation to stop forcing, to stop running, to stop climbing ladders built by other people's hands, and instead, to allow your soul to show you what true desire, true inspiration, really feels like. So, if you find yourself waking up in the morning without the same drive, do not judge yourself. Instead, listen, feel, ask your soul, what wants to move through me today? What does alignment whisper to me? Sometimes the answer will be silence. And in that silence, you are being trained to trust. To trust that your worth is not measured by how much you do, but by how deeply you are. Take a pause here. Close your eyes. Notice your breath. Feel the subtle energy within your chest, the quiet rhythm that has always been guiding you. This is the new compass of your life, and it requires no motivation in the old sense. Only presence. When you awaken, your soul begins to seek alignment rather than effort. This is why motivation, as you once understood it, often fades away. The old patterns of pushing, striving, and forcing no longer resonate with the vibration of your spirit. Instead, you are invited into a new kind of flow, a current that carries you when you surrender to it. Esther Hicks explains this beautifully through the teachings of Abraham. They remind us that motivation born out of struggle is not the same as inspiration born out of alignment. Struggle burns out the body. Inspiration renews it. Struggle makes you run toward goals that never satisfy. Inspiration pulls you effortlessly toward the unfolding of your true path. So when you ask, why do I feel no motivation after my awakening? The answer is both simple and profound. You are no longer supposed to operate on the fuel of lack. Your soul refuses to run on fear, on comparison, on the false urgency of the world. You are being prepared to live in a state where movement comes from joy, where action comes from inner calling, where every step feels guided, rather than pressured. But in the transition, the in-between, you may feel like you are floating in a strange void. You might sit in your room and feel that nothing excites you, nothing calls you. The career that once gave you a sense of identity now feels empty. The goals that once mattered no longer sparkle. Even your daily routine may feel heavy. And here, many seekers believe they are falling into depression. But what you are truly experiencing is spiritual detox. It is as though the universe is gently clearing out the old wires of your system, removing the artificial energies that once kept you moving, so that it can replace them with authentic light. During this clearing, you must learn to rest in trust. The trust that you are not broken. The trust that you are not lazy. The trust that your lack of motivation is a sign of progress, not regression. Pause for a moment. Let that sink in. You are not lazy. You are not failing. You are being realigned. Think of a seed resting in the soil. After being planted, it does not immediately rise above the earth. For a time, it lies hidden, absorbing, waiting. Its old form has already died, but its new form is still gathering strength. To the outside world, it may look like nothing is happening. But inside, a miracle is preparing itself. That seed is you. This is why Esther Hicks emphasizes the power of alignment with Source. When you feel no motivation, it is not because life is against you, it is because life is teaching you how to align. And once you align, movement will return, but in a completely new way. It will not feel like motivation anymore. It will feel like inspiration, like ease, like being carried by a stream, instead of swimming upstream. So, what can you do in this stage? First, allow yourself to slow down. Give yourself permission to not be productive in the old sense. Remember, awakening is not about doing more. It is about being more. Second, practice listening to your emotions. Abraham teaches that your emotions are your guidance system, your direct line of communication with Source. If something feels heavy, it is not an alignment. If something feels light, joyful, expansive, it is your soul saying yes. And third, release the old belief that worth equals work. Society conditioned you to measure your value by how much you accomplish, how much you produce, how much you hustle. But your awakening is asking you to remember, your true worth is eternal. It is not earned, it simply is. You are worthy because you exist. You are worthy because you are a spark of the infinite. Take another breath here. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly. Feel the truth of this moment. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to trust. You are allowed to wait until true inspiration calls you forward. After spiritual awakening, the energy of your life begins to shift from force to flow. This shift is subtle but profound, and it changes everything about how you experience motivation, desire, and purpose. For many years, you may have lived with the belief that you needed to earn every ounce of happiness through effort, struggle, and sacrifice. You pushed yourself to achieve, to compete, to prove your worth to the world. And yet, deep down, that pursuit often left you exhausted, unfulfilled, always chasing the next goal without ever feeling complete. When awakening comes, the illusion cracks. Suddenly, you realize that your true power has nothing to do with force. It has nothing to do with endless effort. Real power comes from alignment, from attuning your vibration to the infinite source that flows through all things. This is why the old kind of motivation dissolves. Because it was never truly yours. It was borrowed energy, conditioned energy, programmed by society's expectations. Awakening takes that away, leaving you with a silence so vast that it can feel unsettling. In that silence, you may feel you have lost yourself. But in truth, you are only losing what was never you. Esther Hicks often speaks of the vortex, the energetic state where all your desires, all your well-being already exist. After awakening, your task is no longer to push yourself toward your goals, but to align with this vortex. When you align, inspiration flows. Ideas arrive effortlessly. Synchronicities appear. The right people cross your path. Action feels light, almost joyful, as if you are being carried by an unseen current. But here is the challenge. Before you master alignment, you may spend time. This is the stage where you know the old ways no longer serve you, but the new ways are not yet stable. It feels like standing between worlds. And in this space, your human mind panics. It says, "Why am I not motivated? Why can't I just get up and force myself like before?" The answer is that your soul no longer allows you to betray yourself. You cannot go back. You cannot force what is misaligned anymore. That door is closed. Instead, you are learning to hear a different voice, the voice of your inner being. This voice is quiet at first, subtle, almost like a whisper in the wind. It speaks through peace, through joy, through a gentle sense of excitement that arises without reason. And so, your task is to wait, to listen, to feel. This waiting is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is the space in which you are retrained to live in a higher rhythm. Think of the ocean. If you throw yourself into the waves, thrashing, fighting against the current, you tire quickly. But if you allow yourself to float, the water holds you effortlessly. This is the difference between old motivation and awakened inspiration. One exhausts, the other sustains. In these times of silence, you may also encounter shadows. Old wounds surface. Memories, doubts, insecurities rise to the surface, because they can no longer remain hidden in the higher light. Do not fear them. They are not here to destroy you, but to be released. Every heaviness you feel is an energy asking to be freed. And when you release, you rise. So if you find yourself lying in bed, feeling that nothing calls you, do not judge. Instead, trust that you are in the womb of transformation. You are becoming something your old self cannot yet imagine. Take this moment to breathe slowly. Inhale, exhale. Imagine that with every breath, you are clearing space within your being. Imagine a golden light filling the emptiness where old motivation once lived. This light is not force, it is presence. It is the reminder that you are already enough, here and now. Soon, the time will come when this light transforms into movement. But it will not be the restless drive you once knew. It will be calm, steady, radiant, the kind of movement that feels like a calling rather than an obligation. As your journey unfolds, you will discover that the absence of motivation was never a curse. It was a gift, a passageway into a new way of being, where your life is guided not by effort, but by resonance. Esther Hicks reminds us that when you live in alignment with your inner being, you no longer need to push yourself toward anything. You are drawn, naturally, magnetically, into what belongs to you. The relationships, the opportunities, the creative expressions, the abundance, they all flow to you when your vibration is attuned. And the beauty is, it feels effortless. This is why the stage of emptiness after awakening is so essential. It clears the noise. It breaks the chains of false drive. It allows you to finally ask, what truly matters to me? What feels alive in my soul? Without this pause, you would continue chasing illusions. With it, you are reborn into clarity. If you are in that stage right now, if you wake up with no energy, no desire, no drive, let this message soothe you. You are exactly where you need to be. You are being trained to move with the universe instead of against it. You are learning the language of alignment, the rhythm of flow, the silence of trust. And soon, as naturally as dawn follows night, you will feel a spark. It may not come with fanfare. It may be simple. The sudden desire to walk in nature, to write a few words, to call someone you love. These small sparks are not random. They are the whispers of your soul, guiding you step by step. Honor them. Follow them gently. Each one leads you deeper into your authentic path. Do not compare yourself to others. Their journey is theirs, and yours is sacred in its own rhythm. Some awaken and feel immediate waves of creativity. Others awaken and need long seasons of rest. Both are valid. Both are divine. So, breathe into this truth. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are exactly where your soul needs you to be. The universe has perfect timing, and you are part of that timing. From this place of trust, life becomes softer, the urgency fades, the pressure melts away, and what remains is peace, the peace of knowing that you do not need to chase what is already yours. Everything meant for you is already on its way. Take this moment now. Close your eyes if you wish. Place your hand on your heart. Feel its steady beat. This rhythm is older than your fears, older than your doubts, older than your need for motivation. It is the eternal pulse of life itself, moving through you. As long as it beats, you are guided. As long as it beats, you are connected to Source. Let this be your reminder. Your awakening is not about doing more. It is about being more. Not about chasing, but about allowing. Not about forcing, but about flowing. And as you embrace this, motivation transforms into something far greater: inspiration, alignment, expansion. From this space, your life becomes a mirror of the infinite, not rushed, not pressured, but unfolding like a flower in the sun. So trust your path, trust your soul. Trust that the lack of motivation is not the end of your journey, but the sacred beginning of a new one. Thank you for being here, for opening your heart, for walking this path of awakening with us. If this message resonated with you, we kindly invite you once more to support Eternal Awakening with a like and a subscription, so that together, we may continue to expand this circle of light and share these truths with all who are seeking. Until next time, may you walk gently, breathe deeply, and remember always, you are eternal, you are guided, and you are enough.